Hi and welcome to part 2 of this Future Source Future Sessions, focused on and then some of the broader challenges facing the content and entertainment industry. I am joined by Joe from our content and entertainment team. So Joe, delighted to have you here today.
Thanks, Dave.
But let's talk a little bit more about sort of the broader 2026 challenges for the industry. Obviously in the content world, we've seen enormous growth in streaming subscriptions. That's starting to mature now. We're starting to see a slowdown in the number of subscription growth. We're seeing a lot of this kind of fatigue amongst consumers in terms of having so many different services that they're subscribing to and starting to pare back on that a little bit. So there are challenges in that respect, but also over the years, we've seen that the content and entertainment industry has been characterized a lot by mergers and acquisitions, right? So talk to us a little bit about that. Is that something that we can continue to see?
Yeah, definitely. I think, as you said, Warner Brothers Discovery is definitely going to be the biggest one of 2026. And it again, along that theme, it's sort of going to be more partnerships and more consolidation in the industry. We've already seen some other announcements of partnerships between SVOD streamers and pay TV. In France in particular, we've got Netflix and TF1 partnering up next year from next summer, from 2026, and Amazon Prime and France TV. And then more recently here in the UK, Virgin Media partnering with Tubi to provide their catalogue of content free of charge to the customers. And I think we're just going to see more, we're sort of entering that phase of differentiation, where services are trying to move beyond the content library and the subscriber growth. I think we're going to start to see sort of more of that bundling, more of the partnerships, and as well, I think some of the streamers, Netflix has always been sort of a front runner in the SVOD space. I think we're going to see more innovation there in terms of stepping more into live sports, more live interactive kind of group gaming with family, and that kind of making it more of a user experience, a better member experience, so that it's not just so focused on the content, the video contents.
Yeah.
So to speak.
Yeah, I'm going to put you on the spot in terms of a lot of these partnerships that we're starting to see. I mean, are these broadly growth strategies, or are these survival strategies ultimately for these players?
I think it's a growth strategy. It's about pushing the consumer up. We've reached that sort of, a lot of them have reached that sort of slowing subscriber growth level, as you mentioned, and it's now looking at how to move things to the next level and how to really lock those customers in, keep them engaged. What can they do to be the most available to the consumer and have the best offering to the consumer, and push them up that ladder? As we've got the ad tiers, we're seeing the premium tiers as well. They'll be wanting to push them up that premium sort of ladder. But we're also seeing sort of some interesting, there's a new launch in the Nordics where it's this idea of one subscription, but it gives you access to eight different streaming services, of which you can access 3 at any one time. Mm-hmm. So you can hop and flip between them, and you obviously charge a slight premium for that sort of ability. But I think we'll see more things like that, making it sort of super convenient for consumers to hop around, mm-hmm. Because they want to try the different services, but also having as much options, as much availability as possible.
Yeah, absolutely. I guess a lot of this consolidation really helps perhaps some of those smaller players create a bit of a defense against the big tech world, and the global players in this space. Is that true, or do you think it makes them depend more on some of these bigger players?
I think the bigger players are leading the way in sort of driving the charge to a certain extent, but then tapping into partnering with the smaller ones, certainly for more of a local angle, getting that broadcaster feel, that local content is always an important role in nearly all the markets that we see. So I think it is going to be about those partnerships and making sure the service is sort of as sticky as possible for the consumer.
Brilliant. Great. Well, thank you, Joe. Thanks for the insights into the content world for next year, and we look forward to seeing you next time. Thanks a lot.